Hi curl friends, welcome back to the Frizzandfrillzz channel. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you hit the bell icon so you're always up to date on my latest tutorials and tips. But today we are going to get started and it is a big video. Today we are going to be going through my top 10 tips for a curly girl who is just starting her journey. And I know that's a lot of you and you're trying to figure out, where do I start? What do I do? It's difficult. Trust me, I get it. I've been there. And those are the messages I'm getting consistently from you guys is, what products do I use? Where do I start? What do I do? And the curly girl method can make it so confusing, I feel like, at times. And I just wanted to make a video that simplifies it to the best of my abilities for you guys and gives you just a general place to say, okay, I have these 10 tips, let's get started. So let's get started. Tip number 1, you have to start in the shower. In the shower is where you're going to set your curls up for success. Can't even really begin to think about your stylers until you start in the shower. So you have to have a good shampoo, a good conditioner, the ones that you're kind of like your go-to holy grail ones that you can use over and over again. And then you need your deep conditioners and your kind of clarifiers and that kind of stuff. Since you're starting potentially your curly journey right now, and maybe you've been using a lot of random products and you don't know just how your curls are doing, maybe they feel way down and they have buildup. So the perfect place to start is with a clarifier, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys 2 recommendations for clarifiers. Number 1 is gonna be the one that comes in this little kit, the detox kit from Curlsmith. I absolutely love it. Actually, I'm gonna open this up for you guys. This one right here, it is their wash and scrub. It's called Wash and Scrub Detox Probiotic. This thing, not only does it give you a nice scalp scrub, but it also clarifies your curls so that you can start really nice and fresh. So this would be my number 1 recommendation. Number 2, if that's a little bit out of your price range, I know Curlsmith can be a little bit pricey sometimes. I mean, there's a reason for it to be pricey because, trust me, it is well worth the money. But if it doesn't fit within your budget, the next thing that you can do is this from Not Your Mother's, okay? This is their Activated Bamboo Charcoal and Purple Moonstone Restore and Reclaim. They have a shampoo and a conditioner for this. This is, actually I'm holding the conditioner right here, but what I'm gonna recommend is actually the shampoo. And it has a really nice gentle clarifying, so you could use it on a pretty regular basis, but still it's going to clarify and it's not going to strip your curls either. And this one is significantly cheaper. It's super affordable. You should be able to find it. I think it's under like $10 or $15 for this huge bottle. And it does have the conditioner that goes along with it. So those would be my 2 recommendations to start with clarifiers. And you guys, I'm going to link everything that I'm talking about down below in the description. So if you have questions or anything, just feel free to go down there. And then if you do have further questions, ask me in the comments. Oh, the other thing I was gonna tell you guys, as I'm going through these tips, if you feel like I didn't go in depth enough on a tip, because we're gonna just hit things on a very high level right now. If you want something, tips 1 through 10, if you want something that is more in depth, share with me in the comments and tell me which one you would like me to do an entire video that I really go into depth on, because I'd be happy to do that, but you gotta tell me what you want. So step 2 is clarifying your curls. Super important step. Step 3 is you have to find your go-to shampoo and conditioner. Something that you can use on a regular basis that isn't gonna cause necessarily buildup. It's not gonna cause, you know, a lot of stripping, whereas something like a scalp scrub or something that is gonna clarify your curls, that's gonna be something you use on a semi-regular basis, maybe every few washes. You're not gonna use that every wash because your curls will end up being really dry. So we want something that's just really simple and clean. So I'm actually gonna put a picture of some of my favorite ones up here. I'm gonna call out the shampoo and conditioner that I personally use these a lot. I love them. I think they work for many curlies because they're hydrating, they're CG friendly. These are them right here. This is Maui Moisture's Curl Quench Coconut Oil Shampoo and Conditioner. It is made for thicker curly hair. If you have more of a thin texture, this might be too heavy for you. So in that instance, another really good one is this Gentle Daily Shampoo. This is from Heritage, also extremely affordable. You can find this at Walmart, I believe. I think it's exclusively at Walmart if I remember right. This one is also a very clean option, and as it says, it is meant for daily use. So you know you can use it on a regular basis and not feel like you get built up or stripping down. Then when it comes to your conditioner, you want something that is not overly conditioning, like a deep conditioner, and you also want something that, depending on your, thin, thick type of hair, that's gonna be a good complementary thing. So as I already talked about, I do love this one from Maui Moisture. One that's a little bit lighter weight is gonna be their Awapui collection. That one is phenomenal. I don't have that one right here with me. It's actually in my shower right now, but that one is a really great one for, honestly, for thinner to even thicker textures. So it's a really good in between. So again, like I said, I'm gonna have everything linked below. But now that we've gone through our shampoo and conditioner that you should be using on a regular basis, let's move forward to a deep conditioner, because deep conditioning is super, super important, especially right now. I mean, we're now getting into the depths of winter where the heat is on in our homes, and oof, the dryness. So let's just talk about a few deep conditioners, because that's really important to make sure that you are getting, number one, shine, definition, and less frizz. 3 very important things. I don't know why I just counted like that with these 3 fingers and not the, I don't know. But those are 3 things that are very crucial in making our curls look, boom. So I'm gonna give you 2. I'm trying to keep things as affordable as I can for what I'm sharing with you guys. So one of my favorite ones that I've been using probably for a year or 2 now is this one right here. So this is from Not Your Mother's as well. And this comes in a single use packet, or it comes in a big, tub like this. And this is called Matcha Green Tea and Wild Apple Blossom, their nutrient rich butter mask. It is probably, dare I say, one of my all-time favorite masks, because it is so good. So this mask right here, it does say it deeply conditions and aids in restoring damaged curls. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I like it so much, because your girl's got some damage from going blonde. I mean, it's just the way it is. And so this has hydrating alcohols in it, no sulfates, no silicones, no parabens, you name it, doesn't have it, CG friendly, very clean. So highly recommend this one. And then the other one that I'm also gonna recommend, this one, it smells literally like, I'm gonna open it up because I love how much it smells. It smells like frosting. So this is Maui Moisture's Vanilla Bean hair mask. Actually, I think it's called Hair Butter, yeah. And this is so hydrating, so hydrating. I can't even explain. So just know you probably are gonna want to rinse out most of it unless you are a thick 3 or 4 type curl, like thick, because if your hair needs all that hydration, amazing, and you can even leave some of it in. Sometimes I'll even leave 50% of my deep conditioner in and just use it kind of as a leave-in a little bit. This one, just know that it is very heavy, and oh y'all, during like the holiday time and bringing this out, it just like makes me think of like winter holiday baking and stuff, because it smells so good. The key ingredients on this one are vanilla bean, obviously, creamy cocoa butter, cacao butter, will be fancy, and lush kukai nut oil. So this is just a fantastic one. This is also meant to smooth and repair. So highly recommend both of those. And then if I do have any other ones that I feel need to be mentioned, I will absolutely put them down in the description so you guys can see everything that I would most recommend. But I'm trying to keep this video as like to the point as possible and not making it go on for like an entire hour. Okay, tip number 5. When we are talking about moisture, we also have to talk about protein, because if you have too much moisture, you're gonna have struggles. If you have too much protein, you're also gonna have too much struggles. And this is the curly dilemma. So let's talk about moisture protein balance. When we have balanced curls, our hair, if you were to take a strand out, you should be able to tug on that and it should come back together. Now, you're not like ripping it, but if you just tug on it slightly, it should expand and then it should contract. If you have too much protein, When you pull on that, it's gonna snap. If you have too much moisture, you're gonna pull on it and it's just gonna keep pulling and not come back because it's overly hydrated. So the goal is to get to that beginning stage where it's nice and taut, but also will have some resilience and come back to form. So in order to do that, I personally really like to clarify on, I would say I clarify every 2 to 3 washes, and then I will come back in with a really nice protein and moisturizing deep conditioning treatment or mask. So I'm gonna show you one of them right now, and then I'm going to link the other ones. If I could put a picture together, I'll put it here of my favorite ones, and then I'll link them all below, like I've said now how many times. But this is one of my favorite ones as well. This one's from Verb right here. This is a part of their Reset collection. They also do have a clarifying shampoo. This one is a little bit more of a harsh clarifier. However, it does do a fantastic job. So this might be a great one for you to start out with as well. So with the Reset mask, this one adds moisture and it adds protein. So this is a really great one to help you kind of bring back that balance. I also have really been enjoying Imbues. They're a curl line that actually started out in the UK and they recently launched here in the US. And I've been enjoying their line a lot over the past couple months. So I would highly recommend that one as well. But these kind of masks are super important to have in your curly arsenal, because if you don't, you're going to find, especially if you continue to just use moisturizing masks alone, you're gonna find that you're gonna get that moisture overload. Tip number 6. This one is super, super important. I honestly cannot tell you how important your scalp health is. If you find that you have a lot of buildup and things like that on your scalp, you gotta get rid of it. And when you think of your scalp health, think about it this way. If you have a ton of buildup on your scalp, how could you expect anything to get through? It's kind of like think about like on a road, right? If there are roadblocks, how can a car get through? It's gonna be pretty difficult. You're probably gonna hit some stuff and it's not gonna be very fun. It's gonna go through some struggles. So it's just easier to not. And that's kind of the same way with a hair follicle. So if there's a ton of buildup, how can you expect new growth to happen? It's probably not gonna happen. So you gotta make sure you take really good care of your scalp. And there's a few ways that you can do that. You can do it with a scalp scrub. And this one's kind of like a 2-in-1 that I mentioned earlier. This is a scalp scrub as well as a clarifying wash product. So this one is kind of like a double whammy, which is awesome. Also, Briogeo has one that's really fantastic. I'll link it below as well. I love that one too. They both have a really nice refreshing feel. Briogeo's is a little bit more cooling with a little bit of a mint sensation, and I absolutely adore it. But if you don't properly care for your scalp, how can you expect your hair to be properly cared for? Does that make sense? Think about it this way. The scalp is where all your hair is being made. That's where things are still alive. After your hair comes out, like this is dead. That's why it doesn't hurt when you like chop it. So it's really important that we care for our scalp, because not only is it really important for our current hair, but it's also really important for your hair growth and making sure the hair growth cycle lasts as long as it can. It also helps with your hair density, so many different things. So a scalp scrub is really important. You can also do like scalp massages. I really like using a little scalp massage tool. I have one in my shower that I keep there always. It has 2 different vibration settings and it's fantastic. So I'll just use that while I'm doing my shampoo, and it just adds that extra little oomph that I feel like my scalp needs. So those are 2 things that I highly recommend. If you're also looking for help in growth and density, if you're looking for that help in hair growth, you can do something like this. I've been taking Curlsmith's what are they called? Curlsmith's Ultimate Lengths. Ultimate Lengths 30-day therapy. These are fantastic. I would definitely recommend that. You take 2 a day. And then if you're looking for more density in your hair, you can also do something like this. This is their full length density elixir. And then they also have a scalp stimulating booster as well. So both of those are really great. They are meant to be used together. I'm personally I really want to start using these again, and I just haven't been good at taking them. But these I do take, and they are fantastic. Okay, so now that we've talked about the main things that you need to do basically in the shower and to prep your hair. And notice that the majority of them are that piece of the puzzle. Now we're going to talk about styling your hair. So tip number 7 is how wet should your hair be when you're about to put on your products? So this is, I feel like, a never-ending journey in the curly community. And I'm going to tell you what works best for me. Hopefully it works well for you. Okay, so when I am getting out of the shower, I like to just wring that extra excess dripping water out of my curls, but where it's still really nice and wet and it's still gonna have some drips, but it's not literally sopping wet. Because when it's sopping wet, how can we expect our curls to soak in any of that product if they are already fully soaked? Just doesn't make sense to me. So I like to wring out some of that excess water, and then I'm gonna go in with my products. So that is my recommendation. Do not use a towel on your curls. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Do not use a towel on your curls, okay? Thank you. It is gonna cause so much frizz and friction. Trust me, just trust me, never use a towel. If you're going to use anything to take out some of that excess water other than your hands, you need to use a microfiber towel or use an old t-shirt. That works too. I personally prefer a microfiber towel. Linking those below. I think I found one that's like a dupe for a Diva Curl one on Amazon. Pretty affordable, great. But that is my recommendation on how to prep your hair for those hair products. Now, we're actually not gonna talk too much about the styling products because if you haven't seen it yet, I am going to link right here a video where I've already gone through all the things you need to know when it comes to my favorite styling products. It's a full video going from leave-ins to curl creams to gels to oils, you name it, it's in there. And it's also going to take you through your different hair types. So we've got for wavy, curly, coily. We are talking about thin and thick. I really try to break it down for you guys in that separate video because it needs its own separate video. I hope that gives you guys some good clarity on products over there. So feel free to pause this if you want to go watch that in between, or you can finish up this video and then go watch that after. But that is where we're going to talk about the styling products. We're going to kind of leave that out of this video since we already touched on that recently. Now, tip number 9. This is where we're going to talk about the order your products should go on. Leave-in always goes first. Why? Because that's where your hydration is coming from. So we don't want there to be anything blocking that hydration. So leave-in goes first. Then you have any of your other cream products. So like a curl cream, something along those lines, that's gonna go next because that's gonna have a little bit of hydration, but it's also gonna probably have a little bit of hold. Then you're gonna talk about your gel or your mousse. That right there is sealing things in and it's providing the most hold, right? Gel always goes almost last because that's going to hold that hydration in and it's gonna give us some nice hold, some nice shine. Lastly, if you want, you're going to add an oil if you need to scrunch out that crunch, and that's going to help prevent any further frizz, add that extra shine. I don't normally add an oil on the day I wash. Normally I'll add an oil on my refresh days because my curls need some extra hydration and it also helps prevent additional frizz. But oils are great to be able to seal that in and do that final last step. So say it with me. Leave-in, curl cream, gel mousse, oil serum. That is how I would recommend you put on your products in that order. Okay, guys, we are on to the final tip. The final tip is, I know, I'm a geek, it's fine. Final tip number 10 is diffusing over air drying. I personally am a huge fan of diffusing your curls. The reason I like to diffuse, there's a couple reasons. Number 1 is because I think it adds significantly more volume. And I love my volume, love it very, very much. I do not like to have like dead curls. We like to fluff them up. And it also helps, I personally think, with less frizz. And honestly, one of the biggest things is I don't want to sit with my curls wet for hours. My hair takes forever to air dry. I used to air dry, and let me just tell you a little story. When I would go to school, and in the middle of winter, because I live in Wisconsin where it's really, really cold, I would literally have icicle curls on my way to school because it was so cold. I could literally just like hold my curl out and it would be like, it's just not okay. So I decided a handful of years ago that I was gonna start diffusing, and I have never gone back. Now, if you need some help with diffusing and need some tips, I do have a video on diffusing that I created probably a little less than a year ago, and it's still, a lot of those tips are still my tried and trues. So I'm going to put that one as well up here, and I'll put it down in the description so you guys can easily find it. Now, since that video, I have changed which diffuser I'm using. I have upgraded to the Dyson hairdryer and diffuser, and I absolutely love it. The Dyson is a game changer. I can dry my hair in under 20 minutes. It's incredible. So I do highly recommend it. I know it's expensive, but honestly, I think it's worth it because I'm using it almost every single day. Cost per use, cost per wear. It's worth it. But guys, that is it. So those are your 10 tips to help start your curl journey. I really hope those help you guys. Everything is linked below if you need it. Definitely tell me if there's anything that you would like to see in more depth, or a tutorial or a full video. I would love to know what you would like to see more of in more depth. And if you're looking for more tips and tricks and tutorials, definitely head over to my TikTok and my Instagram. I have a ton of different tutorials and tips. I try to do tips of the day for curls over on both of those channels, and I'm always providing new tips, tricks, and everything over there. Also, you'll see a lot of my fur babies, my little dogs, my chickens. Yes, we have chickens. My cat Gucci. You'll see all of that over there, so you get to see a little bit more of a sneak peek into my life. I really hope you enjoyed this. Definitely give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, go right ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're always up to date on all of my videos. But until next week, I will talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.